Hi everyone, this is a quick iScore and scorekeeping tutorial for beginners. First, I want to say it's easiest if you watch this in full screen mode so you can see the top and bottom of my screen capture. All right, so in the main menu of iScore, the two things you're going to use the most is Game Manager and Options to start. You can also use Team Manager. I want to start by saying you need internet to import games and export games. You do not need internet to score games. Also, whatever information you change on this device, it stays on your device and doesn't sync with other people's. So for instance, if you import a game and you change the lineup, it's not going to update the other team's scorekeeper who has the same game imported. It only lives on your device. When you export, that's where it's going to export all the stats. But any changes you do within Game Manager or even Team Manager, it's just living on your device only. Team Manager is all teams. It's not just your team. So it's any teams in your division that you'll be playing. They automatically load in when you load the game that you're playing against them with. So let's go ahead and load a game real quick. We're going to go Game Manager, and then in the upper right, we're going to click Add. Discover game down at the bottom, and then we're going to load it from Sports Engine. All right, I've already logged in. It'll prompt you with a login for Sports Engine, and after that, you're going to click Sparks Centennial Little League, and I'm going to load in this Thursday's game. So you click on it, and then in the upper right, we're going to click Import. Yes. All right, it's successful. Now we want to go back, so click on that back button, and it'll load in there at the bottom. I'm going to show you how to score keep now. I've created a fake Team 1 at Team 2 game so I can show you guys how to score keep. So let's go into it. Once you get to the field, you'll get into the game and you'll click on Score Game. It's going to pop up the lineup. If you look down at the bottom, Home, Visitor. It's got both of them down there. When it imports from Sports Engine, it pulls over players, coaches, anybody that's an admin or a staff. And so if everybody has numbers but some, likely it's the coaches. Also, if there isn't numbers, like for instance at the top, Debbie, if this was actually a player and there wasn't a number, if we click on that little empty space to the left of the name, we could add in a number. All right. But we actually are just going to delete this out, delete this one, delete this one. All right, next, we're going to rearrange the batting order. Those three lines on the right-hand side, we're going to click, hold, and drag them around. You'll notice that once I drop it, it changes the batting order. Another thing to note is we're going to say Jason is not going to make the game. So we also don't want to have him in the batting lineup. We have a continuous batting order in our league. So if there is 11 players that show up, there's 11 players that we're going to go through, as opposed to 9 that are on the field only are the only ones batting. But we're going to say Jason's gone. So click on that batting, and then we're going to say, is he a starter? No. So what's going to happen is it's still leaving him on the team as a player, but when it gets down to Dylan, it's going to skip Jason and go straight up to Jacob. All right, next is to put in their positions. So the empty box next to the word batting, if you click on it, it'll pop up, and this is where we can enter in all this information. Some coaches will give you a paper roster. Some coaches just have it posted in the dugout. Either way, get there a little bit early so that you can do this. It takes a little bit of time, especially if you're figuring out who's where. You can also add in where they're at, and then we can adjust the batting order. So let's go over to the visitors real quick. Let's edit this. Let's move some of these guys around, and let's add in their positions. All right, and then we're going to click done in the upper right hand corner. If you click done too early and then you realize that your lineup is not right, or if the coach runs over and tells you he's making a quick switch, we're going to click lineup again, and that'll pull that back up. so we can make our adjustments. Okay, so we're ready to score the game. We're going to wait to hit play in the lower right-hand corner, or lower left-hand corner, I'm sorry, until the umpire says play ball. So once he says play ball, we are ready. So at the top, you have the score, you have the inning, and you have the outs, and then balls and strikes for the batter. Then below that, you have the batters on the left, at bat, Axel, on deck, Jackson, in the hole, Steve. You also on the right have the pitcher. Jacob is pitching so far since the game just began. He has 0 balls, 0 strikes, and 0 total pitches. The coaches also keep track of their team's pitch count, but sometimes the coach might also ask the scorekeeper what they have for a pitch count just to make sure that they're on the right track. So if that's the case, you just will give them that T number. To the right above the field is the time clock. Right now we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes because we just started. As we go, even with this tutorial, that will go up and up. So let's get started. Down at the bottom, ball, strike, foul. Those are pretty self-explanatory. If you click them, they'll update in the right-hand side and underneath the batter. Out and in play. If he hits the ball and gets out, we're going to hit out. If he hits the ball and he's safe, we're going to hit in play. If you push the wrong one, it doesn't matter because you'll be able to edit it. So let's also show you real quick. We're going to make poor Axel strike out. So on the third strike, it's going to pop up and ask us, how did he strike out? We're going to say he struck out swinging. Poor guy. At least he tried. So it automatically counts the out and moves up the next batter. Jackson's up. We are going to say he hits the ball to right field and he's going to be safe. So watch the play first. We're going to watch him the whole play happen and then we're going to score keep it. So we're going to click in play because he hit it really good. We are going to say hit a single because he did just make it to first base only. And then this is where you can just click next and skip this screen. Or as we get better and better, we can actually say where the ball went. So you can either just tap the field or you can push and hold for where it went. And you can also say how hard it was and what type of ball it was, or just click next. All right, he's moved to first base. You see him right there in the orange. So next up is Steve. We're going to say that he gets pitched a crazy ball. And it's so crazy that our first baseman was able to steal. So click on the first base. And we're going to start at the top and move down. So if he was out, if he was safe, he was on first, now he's second. And then what happened with it? And so this is a stolen base or wild pitch. Technically it's a wild pitch, but we can also just say stolen base. He did it. So next, let's get Steve out. Poor Steve. He's going to hit the ball. And this is where if you accidentally hit in play instead, I'll show you here. You can also click out at the top and it'll give you all those out options. I'll show you. I'll click cancel. We're going to click out and again out or safe. So he's going to do a ground out. He hit it to the second baseman. Second baseman threw it to the first baseman. So here, just click next if you want, or if you'd like to track this, click where it went. And since he got out, it's going to ask us what order the ball was handled. Again, we can just click done. Or I'm showing you here, we can say the second baseman threw it to the first baseman and got him out. Done. Every time you move the batter, it's going to ask you what happened to all the other basemen, the base runners. So what happened to the runner that was on second? Was he out? Was he safe? He did move to third and he was advanced by the batter. There you go. So once there's 3 outs, I'm going to have poor Nigel strike out. It's automatically going to change the field over. If he gets 4 balls, it'll also automatically walk him. Same as if there was 3 strikes, automatically out. And it'll move him. In our league, some divisions have run rules. So if you get so many runs, it ends that half inning. If that happens, it's not going to show the 3 outs. We have to manually end it. So you're going to click on miscellaneous, end half inning there in the middle. And now the next team's up. Here's the most important thing. We want to make sure that the pitcher and the catcher have the correct people at them. So if there's a pitcher change or a catcher change, we really want to be mindful of that. It's nice to be able to do the whole rest of the field too, but if you do anything, do the pitcher and the catcher. Those are the ones with the most rules on them for how many they can pitch. If they pitch so many, they can't catch, vice versa. So we're going to change number 8. Number 8 is actually going to be replaced by Mason. And save, and there you go. Now, if you look, shortstop, Mason was at shortstop, and now his position is a question mark. We don't know who's in there. So in order to update that, we're going to click on him again. We're going to click on Jacob, who moved over there. And now we don't have any question marks. If you have a question mark, it's also fine to keep playing. Just make sure there's no question marks on your pitcher or your catcher. All right. Once the game's over, we're going to end the game. Miscellaneous, end game. And that's it. Also be mindful of this undo button. Like I said before, if you make some sort of a mistake, we can always undo. Oops, I didn't mean to end the game yet. He's actually going to strike out. All right. But, all right, we're really going to end the game for reals now, though. So we're going to hit miscellaneous, end game. Game's over. Click exit. Okay. Back. And now you're going to see it was 0-0. F is the final game. And now we're going to click back to the main menu. So you do need internet to export. Once we're ready to export, we're going to click on options and then export in the bottom left. Yes, confirm export and success. We have the rule that the home team is the one that exports, just so we don't have both teams exporting. So if you're the home team, it's up to you to export. There's lots of reasons why maybe you would export as the visitor instead. Maybe there isn't any scorekeepers on the other team that night and you need to end up doing it. As long as that's worked out beforehand so we know what's happening. You don't have to score if you're the visitor team, but for scoring integrity, it's nice to do. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll do our best to help you.